Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Trogdor, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you, everyone, for coming in and stopping by and checking out more UPBA. I'm always going to get that acronym mixed up. I have no idea what it stands for even, but anyway, hope you all enjoyed week one. We obviously did not do so well versus Zane, but that's because Vaporeon basically failed at its job. But, you know, if you want to see exactly what happened with that, go check out that battle if you haven't already, because this is week number 2, and 1 comes before 2. Obviously, I would know. I'm a mathematician, and, well, not so much a Pokemon master, but that's besides the point. Anyway, our opponent is Tone and the Miami Malamarlins, and he's got a pretty interesting team, and we're going to take a look at it real quick before we get into the team that I am bringing. He has, first of all, he's got Garchomp, which we all know is like a big shark that goes to Gashunk. He's got Tornadus, Therian, Greninja, and that's vanilla Greninja, not like, it's Torrent, so it's not Protein or Battle Bond. If it was Protein, it'd, you know, have way more gains than that. He's got the Gentleman's Round 4 Jirachi and the Gentleman's Round 5 Mega Kangaskhan. But of course, Kangaskhan is a lady, so it's the Ladies Round 5 Mega Kangaskhan. He's got Vanilla DNC, Slowbro, and Amoonguss, like, you know, rounding out like an insane regen core right there. Regular Rotom, and then Passimian. So that's a really interesting team he's got going on there, which on paper it looks pretty scary. When I first looked at this matchup, I was thinking like, what the crap can I do? I have like 0 answers for some of these things. So you see who I'm leading off with. I've got Vermithor, the Salamence. So Salamence basically gets up a Dragon Dance and like blows through a weakened team. Getting off a Dragon Dance is going to be tricky, in all honesty. Like, Slowbro's going to be carrying the Ice Beam, Amoonguss is going to be carrying the, the Spore, which hits me pretty hard. So I might change my 4th move to Substitute at the last minute. I don't know yet. I actually have not yet gotten this team to Gen. But I've got Dragon Dance, Outrage, EQ, Rock Slide with Dragon Ball Z. And Draconium Z, the Devastating Drake, has a chance to kill max defense Slowbro if I am at +1. So that's if like I use EQ to pick off something that's weak or whatnot. Basically, it's going to be like a late game cleaner that can actually do well. But it, like, Salamence is a threatening Pokemon regardless of which way you look at it. But ideally, like, something's going to be weakened. I can set up on it and then like win. That's the plan with Salamence. Next, we have Edric Storm, the Tornadus Incarnate, making its debut. So Torn is actually going to be more of a supporting role this game because I need Defog. Taunt is really useful, and I really just need to like snag momentum and whatnot, and Tailwind is there to support something that might need it, but mostly it's going to be like defogging, taunting, and U-turning. I really didn't, it's not a bulky Pokemon. I'm mostly just going to be like doing speed. That's its primary function, to outspeed the likes of Garchomp, the likes of Jirachi. Not so much Greninja and Torn T, but honestly it's like his older brother Torn T can't do much. Of course, Tornadus Therian gets like an infinite move pool and can do like so many things. I'm actually kind of worried about Torn T. That's the one thing that I'm the most like, what do I do, guys? What do I do against this thing? Especially because if I'm not mistaken, it's one of his Z users. But I don't know. That's one thing that I should really pay attention to. But yeah, supporting Torn T. And next up we have the Many-Faced God, the Mega Mawile, which if you might recall, it did an okay job last game, but I'm running almost the exact same set. Mawile's job is to kill things, to put it lightly. Basically, it's like, he doesn't have a switch into Mega Mawile. I force something out, and I get up a sub, and then I get a kill. Mega Kangaskhan can break my sub on the first hit, but luckily because Parental Bond, the second hit is only like 25% power, the next hit is like not doing that much. So I'm still sitting pretty at like 60% health afterwards, and it's like, oh, play rough, you're gone. Bye. Because yeah, his switch-ins to play rough are, I'm looking really, really hard right here, and oh, I don't see them. His switch-ins to knockoff are like, oh, it's like between the two of those, it's like, what do you do? Ice Punch is a really great move to just like catch something on surprise. Like it'll donk the Amoonguss, it'll donk the Torrentee, it'll donk the Garchomp like 1,000,000%. So, and of course I have Intimidate as the base form. Mawile is just fantastic this matchup. I was really struggling like building. This is I think the last thing that I put on. And I realized at one point he doesn't have a switch into this. Like Slowbro's donked, Amoonguss is donked, like he doesn't have a switch in for this. So that's why I'm running the sub, because it's like something dies. And that's what I love about Mawile. That's why it was my #1 pick. Speaking of zero switch-ins, I have the Lightning Lord himself, Dondarrion, the Raikou, if I can find the shiny sprite as well. So Raikou, I brought last game and it did decently well, but it's going to do an even better job this game. So I've said poo-poo on Life Orb before, but I'm running it the second week in a row. And here's why. Expert Belt, Hidden Power Ice versus a Garchomp that is a bulkier spread, like defensive Garchomp, it doesn't have a guaranteed kill. Life Orb Hidden Power Ice is a guaranteed kill on Garchomp. So I kind of had to run it because bulky Garchomp actually matches up pretty well versus me. And it's like, it's going to be its primary switch, and when I go for like blasting off Thunderbolts and Volt switches and stuff, the combination of Amoonguss switching into Thunderbolt and me going for an extra Sentry just like donks it. I did a mock battle where I had an Expert Belt and didn't quite kill it, so it's like, yeah, that's another reason I need Life Orb, the combo of Thunderbolt and extra Sensory, unless it's something like Assault Vest, in which case it doesn't have Spore. Great, Mawile can set up a sub versus it. So Raikou's just basically like hitting things really hard. It's a half decent switch into Torrentee, since thanks to a lot of my leftover EVs, I can take a hit decently. I can take a hit decently from Gren because its stab isn't super effective versus me, and I've got a lot of Spadef anyway. But yeah, Raikou is going to be pretty great for me this game, honestly. I am looking forward to donking things like the Slowbro, like the Amoonguss, and yeah. Next up, I've got Bobby B the Emboar. I am running a Scarf Emboar. And the reason being, Max Speed Jolly Emboar actually outspeeds both Greninja and Tornado Starion, and because my fastest things don't outspeed them, I needed a Scarfer, I needed one that hit really, really hard, and Emboar just frankly, like, with its Reckless ability, Wild Charge, Flare Blitz, I'm running Head Smash for the memes, honestly. I'm not going to be clicking this. I'm mostly going to be clicking Wild Charge and Flare Blitz, sometimes Superpower. Emboar just hits like a truck, and there are lots of things, especially the Jirachi, that are really, really scared by it. Even the only thing that really wants to take a Flare Blitz is the Slowbro and a defensive Garchomp, which again, defensive Garchomp is actually really good versus me this match, which is why it's probably going to be its primary switch into my Emboar. But Emboar, yeah, just going to be like punching holes, like going reckless, and just like, you know, doing Emboar things. And lastly, I have Duck the Porygon 2 because I needed a switch into Garchomp. There's one mock game where it just got completely demolished by Garchomp and blah 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 blah. So I needed something that is like, oh, I need to be able to kill the Garchomp, of course. I need to be able to not get killed by the Garchomp too. So Duck running Ice Beam, Recover, T-Wave, and Shadow Ball. The T-Wave helps especially versus the Mega Mawile, likewise with the Tailwind from Tornado Starion. But Ice Beam and Shadow Ball actually has pretty decent coverage versus his team. It hits everything that it really needs to. And I take hits like a champ. I can recover off most damage. The only thing that really beats it is if he goes for a Toxic, which I'm of course going to. Then again, if I get hit by a Toxic, that means it's a switch in for Amoonguss. And my favorite thing about Porygon 2 this matchup is he has 3 regen mons, all of which match up versus me fantastically. So I can trace that regen, take 2 rounds of Toxic, go for Recover, and then switch out. And it's fantastic because I'm back up at full health, even after being a sitting duck there. So yeah, obviously biggest threats are Garchomp and as I explained Porygon 2. Torrentee is really difficult to play around. Greninja, even though it's only like Torrent, it's still pretty tricky. Jirachi, it can run like 20 billion sets, but I can beat it offensively and kind of defensively because Emboar can like switch into his main stat in Iron Head. Not so much Zen Headbutt though. That's going to be tricky. Vega Kangaskhan is scary, but I'm faster than it with a lot of things. And Parental Bond got nerfed. And his regen core is just like, make it stop. So, I'm predicting, like, of the 7, like, 3 regen mons, Gren, Jirachi, Kangaskhan, Garchomp, any 6 of those 7s, I really don't expect the other 3. If they happen to be there, great, more things for Mawile to kill. But yeah, anyway, that's the team. So I hope you guys enjoyed the season. Well, it's only the first week, but yeah, if you guys want to keep up with this season, go ahead and subscribe because I'm going to be uploading like all 12 or whatever weeks that we've got, or I think it's 12. Yeah, like the video if you liked it and comment down below if you got anything else to say. But yeah, otherwise that's all I've got for today. So I'll see everyone in the next video. Battle's going up tomorrow. Stay tuned for that. All right, take care everyone. Bye-bye.